Atlanta Falcons fans, buckle up, because something is happening in the NFC South that could flip this division upside down. One move, one player, one shockwave that could change the Falcons' future and crush a rival's hopes for years. That player? Christian Wilkins. Yes, the same Christian Wilkins the Raiders threw $110 million at just a season ago. And the same Christian Wilkins they just released. Out of nowhere. After everything he's proven, after everything he's fought through, Vegas cut ties. And now the NFL world is buzzing with one question: where will he land? And here's the twist: Atlanta could be the answer. The Falcons have been quietly building one of the most dangerous defensive fronts in football. But adding a monster like Wilkins? That's the kind of move that doesn't just plug a hole, it redefines an entire defense. Sure, there's risk. He battled foot injuries last year, only playing in 5 games. But even then, he still racked up tackles, sacks, and pressure. That's how disruptive he is. He makes noise even at half strength. Now he's a free agent, hungry, disrespected, and looking for revenge. And the thought of him lining up in red and black, collapsing pockets, swallowing running backs whole, that should make every Falcons fan's heart race. Because if Atlanta pulls this off, the NFC South just shifted. Falcons fans, what do you think? Do you want Christian Wilkins in Atlanta, or is the injury risk too big? When Christian Wilkins was in Miami, he wasn't just good, he was a force of nature. His 2023 season with the Dolphins wasn't simply productive, it was dominant. 65 tackles, 9 sacks. For a defensive tackle, those numbers scream disruption. That year wasn't just a career highlight, it was proof that Wilkins had arrived, that he could take over games from the inside and make life miserable for offensive coordinators across the league. The Raiders noticed, and they paid him big money to anchor their line. But then came the cruel twist of the game we love: injury. His momentum stalled. His story, at least for a season, paused. Yet the thing about Wilkins, and what makes him so intriguing right now, is that when he's healthy, he's a nightmare in cleats. His frame, his motor, his relentless energy. He doesn't just play defense, he attacks it. And that's exactly the kind of presence the Atlanta Falcons have been searching for. For years, this defense has lacked that interior menace, that one guy who can both choke out the run game and collapse the pocket from the middle. Atlanta has tried to patch the front with pieces, but what they've really needed is a cornerstone. Wilkins could be that piece. Think about the possibilities. Wilkins lined up next to Grady Jarrett, 2 interior wrecking balls crashing into offensive lines, creating chaos at the snap. Quarterbacks in the NFC South wouldn't just be pressured, they'd be hunted. Running backs would hit the line and find nothing but a wall of red and black waiting. That's how you transform not just a defensive line, but the entire identity of a defense. And let's not forget, Atlanta already had eyes on Wilkins last offseason. They wanted him then, they just got outbid by Vegas. But now, fate may be offering them a second chance. Of course, there's the business side. Wilkins was guaranteed a mountain of money last year, which means the Falcons won't be chasing a mystery. They'd be chasing a proven disruptor. If he rebounds to his old form, Atlanta could land one of the biggest steals of the offseason. Because in today's NFL, interior linemen who can both plug the run and crush the passer aren't just valuable, they're priceless. So the real question becomes, is Wilkins the missing piece that pushes Atlanta from playoff hopeful to playoff threat? The roster is being carefully built, piece by piece, with the goal of balance and staying power. Adding Wilkins could be the bold stroke that completes the picture, the move that turns Atlanta's defense into something opponents actually fear. Christian Wilkins isn't just a defensive lineman. He's the kind of player who can change the entire identity of a defense. When he steps on the field, he doesn't just eat up space, he eats up game plans. Double teams don't slow him down. They create opportunities for guys like Grady Jarrett to go hunting. And in Atlanta, that could be the spark this defense has been missing. For Wilkins, the fit makes perfect sense. The Falcons scheme rewards relentless effort, versatility, and toughness, 3 things Wilkins has built his career on. He's the type of player who thrives in a culture built on grit and resilience, and that's exactly what Atlanta stands for. Add him into this mix, and suddenly, the Falcons' defensive front goes from dangerous to terrifying. Of course, there are questions. Is he fully healthy after that foot injury? Would he want to plant his flag in Atlanta? And what kind of contract would it take to get him here? Those answers are still in the air. But what's clear is this. If Wilkins suits up in Falcons black and red, quarterbacks in the NFC South better start losing sleep. The Saints are reloading. The Buccaneers refuse to back down. The Panthers are quietly building. The division is a fight every single week, and adding Wilkins could be the move that tips the balance of power in Atlanta's favor. He's the type of signing that doesn't just fill a hole, it changes expectations.